Howlers.
Welcome to Fade to Obsidian, your Red Rising podcast on relationships and spaceships. I am Skipper, joined as always by Crescent, and joined by Vale. We'll be fully transparent for we've already recorded this once, so we're gonna attempt to actually record it this time. Thank you for joining us, Vale, and thank you for working through all of this. Vale's joining us for you're our fourth cosplayer to come on in the cosplay series, so we're super excited to have you. Why are you Vale? We're gonna try and go through exactly what we just did. Who are you? Why are you Vale? And what are you drinking?
Well, let's start with the drinking.
Yeah.
I drink tea. I drink a lot of tea, and as I said before, in the Netherlands we call that person a theeluid. It's just a Dutch word for someone who drinks a lot of tea, and that's me.
Which I will be stealing, Taylor. I'm obsessed with that. That's amazing.
Yeah. And my howler name is Phil, and that was given to me by the howlers then because of my cosplay. Because of Phil, that's something that you put in your face or as a disguise, and I love it. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, it fits you very well, and especially with some of the cosplays you do. That is so cool. I immediately think of you when we talk your name. You did the Dune. Didn't you have a veil during the Dune cosplay? We'll talk about it after. But yeah, it's always what I think of when I picture you.
Chains in front of her face.
Yeah, that's so cool. Crescent, what are you drinking?
I watched the movie and basically in the sorry.
No,
we were watching the movie in the cinema, and I saw that, and I basically said like very loud, like I'm gonna make that cosplay the moment it showed up on screen. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Awesome.
I'll definitely be asking more. Crescent, what do you have? What are you drinking?
I have an empty now black coffee.
Yeah.
I really should just get somebody to make me another one and bring it down, but
oh yeah, you've got people in the
I won't
house.
do that to them. Okay, I have a question for you.
Wait, what am I drinking?
Yeah, that's the question for you. What are you drinking?
Oh, okay. I was like, I have coffee, but I put Irish whiskey in, so I have an Irish coffee. Because it is where we didn't say that, Vale, you are, I think, our third European that we are recording with. So it is very early in North American time, especially for Crescent. It's, I think, 8 a.m. there. Well, it was when we started this.
Yeah.
It's 8:30 now, but you were saying it's about 4 o'clock in the Netherlands. So we're all drinking our teas and coffee because it's early. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now I was joking. I actually have a question for Vale rather than Skipper. Do you know Brandon Sanderson, Way of King, Stormlight Archives?
heard of it, haven't read it yet.
Okay.
I want to because I have this coworker that I badgered into reading Red Rising, and for him I read Mistborn, and he continued with Iron Gold and until Lightbringer. So basically, I have to read Stormlight Archive next.
Okay.
But they're intimidating. They're so big.
They are. They go quick though.
Okay.
Sorry, there's a character named Vale, and
oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, that's cool.
There you go. All right.
Are they
side quest complete?
Okay. And is Phil a nice character, a fun character?
Vale is a very good character.
Okay.
All of them are complex, but
this actually
Vale is a great character.
More reason to read them. So
there you go. Jump in next. I like it.
Yeah, probably.
Well, as we're here talking cosplay, can you give us the rundown on what's your cosplay origin story? How did you get into cosplay?
Well, as a mini Vale, I already dressed up a lot, like my mom's wedding dress and stuff like that. And I always pretended to be a mermaid in the bath. But yeah.
I love that.
But my actual first cosplay experience was back in 2005 for Revenge of the Sith. What we thought back then was the last Star Wars movie ever. And well, some people organized like a sleepover at the cinema.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was like, I think it's one of the nerdiest things I've ever done. But yeah, so basically you arrived the day before, and there were a lot of things happening there. There were quizzes. They had like this life-size snow speeder at the cinema where you could take pictures with it. And in the evening there was a barbecue, and then at night you just slept at the corridors of the cinema, and then the next day you watched the movie together. And there was also a cosplay aspect to it, or you were allowed to dress up. So, and back in the day I didn't know how to sew or anything, so I asked my aunt and she made me the costume. If you look at it now, it's not accurate at all. It's like the wrong fabric, the wrong color. I mean, Padme has this long hair, and I have this very short hair. I didn't know what a wig was back then. So, does it look like a character? No. Did everyone recognize who I was supposed to be? Yes. So it was a very fun and positive experience, and that's where I met the rest of the Star Wars people in the Netherlands. And well, pretty soon after, I joined the 501st Legion and the Rebel Legion with some costumes. And those are like the big global Star Wars communities, costuming clubs, basically. And well, back in the day, cosplay in the Netherlands the cosplay scene was very small. So if you had these costumes and you wanted to dress up wanted to wear them somewhere, it was nice to be part of a club. So you could actually go somewhere and wear what you made.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, how does Comic-Cons compare from in North America, where most of our listeners are from, to Europe? Like, do you have the big Comic-Cons that we do?
Well, we do have some big Comic Cons. I like to go to Dutch Comic Con and Facts in Belgium. But I've also been to 2 or 3 three actually, I think. Well, Star Wars celebrations in America, Orlando and Anaheim, and yeah, they're just bigger.
They're just
It's yeah,
everything's bigger in the U.S. Let's be serious.
yeah. You cannot really compare how big the events in America are compared to the ones in, well, the Netherlands. But I have seen like the conventions here grow from like these tiny events in hotel lobbies to like these huge where they rent out the full convention center and like have 7 halls of just
Yeah,
Comic-Con.
that's so
Yeah.
cool to see, watch that
Yeah.
grow.
Yeah,
It
be in the middle
also,
of a
yeah,
scene
Yeah,
while it's growing.
yeah. Yeah, it
yeah.
also means that I've been in the scene for way too long and that I'm getting old. So
No, we're in our prime of our lives. We're
yes,
True.
not
we
getting too
are.
old. Yeah, you're just getting all the experience. You know, probably every time you have different tips and tricks, and that's great.
I've
Um,
learned that I like to dress up in fancy costumes, but I also like to be comfortable. I mean, I remember the time that we got up at 4 just to go like full body paint for Star Wars cosplays, and then we did like 4 hours of body paint, and then after 2 hours, me and my friend were like complaining that we were so tired. And then we said, no, we have to wear the costume for at least 4 hours because we did 4 hours of makeup.
Yeah,
yeah.
gotta make it
Oh
worth
my
it.
God.
Yes.
Yeah, when we talked to Backstitch, we kind of had the conversation that me and her do Comic Cons in 2 very different ways. That for her, it's like difficult to go to the washroom or the bathroom, and for
I know
me,
that.
I'm like in sweats. I'm like, how can I make the most comfortable cosplay of all time that I want to be able to sit anywhere?
Prefer to do is to go like 2 days to an event and one day go all out, like something badass, something complicated. Like you cannot go to the bathroom for the whole day, stuff like that.
Yeah,
And then the other day is something comfy, something fun, something
that's perfect.
easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely a smart way to do it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Red Rising. You've done one, I believe, Red Rising cosplay. Walk us through. What was it? What was the story behind it?
Uh, I made it for Operation Hazard Bedlam last year. I made a Sovereign Virginia costume from, my inspiration came from Iron Gold. And Operation Hazard Bedlam was announced, and I figured I would want to make something for the Violets because I'm a creative person. But I didn't really know what because time is an issue. So I also do some embroidery, and I thought maybe I'm going to do this very cutesy floral piece with fuck Lysander in it, and I still want to make that, by the way, because I still think it's fun. Yeah.
I think a few people would buy that. Yeah.
I should just make them for den people, just for fun. But then I thought the only reason I started embroidery in the first place was for a cosplay I did. So basically, all the skills I have all come back to cosplay, and that is sort of the core of my creativity. So I thought this is the moment I'm going to make a Red Rising costume, and I had been thinking about the Sovereign Virginia costume for a while already, because I saw in my head how I wanted that to look, and then the first day of Hazard Bedlam was there, and then I was still doubting, can I do this? Can I make this? And then I think on the second or third day of Bedlam, I figured, here we go. I'm locked in. I'm going to do this. So in a little less than 3 weeks, I made the costume, which was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what went into researching kind of what the costume would look like?
For the Sovereign Virginia costume, I always had this vision in my mind that she had this like a combination of softness with soft fabrics and some flowy fabrics, and but at the same time also her fierceness and badassness. So I wanted to combine like the soft fabrics with the armor pieces. So that's what I did. I also wanted her to wear pants because she wears a lot of pants in the books. That's what was basically the idea. So I looked at like these old paintings, neoclassical paintings, some Roman inspired armors and Roman Roman armors, Roman togas, neoclassical paintings with like these beautiful, soft, feminine touches. And I tried to combine that into one costume.
That's cool. That's super
cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
How long did that, like, the researching take you?
As I said, I had been thinking about it before Hazard Bedlam already. So sort of the idea was already there, but I think, the first, 3 days of Bedlam were like looking up a lot of references for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then you're right into making it. So do you make everything by yourself? Did you have pieces that you purchased?
The two things that I didn't make were my pants and my boots. I just grabbed some boots that I had, and I just got some simple white pants. Also, and the tiara was something I already had. So, yeah.
You gotta have a tiara lying around. I love it.
I have a stash of tiaras and crowns and stuff like that.
So do I.
But everything else I made myself in those 3 weeks. I used a couple of patterns for like the armor pieces. Kamui Cosplay offers a lot of patterns for shin guards or like the chest piece or shoulder pads. So it was easy to start there, especially with the time limit that I had. And and I also have a couple of photos with a razor, and those files were made by the Orange Armory.
Yeah, who we love.
Yeah, shout out Orange Armory.
Yeah, I know Backstitch has used his stuff before, Salem, and then you. So 100%, we love him. He contributes to the fandom so much. Everyone check out Orange Armory. We'll make sure his details are on.
I also printed his sling blade just because I want to have it on the wall.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I didn't even like process of, I mean, because you and Backstitch, I think, both have 3D printers or at least access to them. Yeah, right behind you. Perfect. I love it. And then Salem lives so close to Jigsaw Orange Armory that she just like shows up at his house basically and is like, "Can I have that, please? I will be taking that." But that's so cool of how the internet and all of this works, that you in a completely different continent are able to go, "Okay, perfect. I'll just print it myself." Like that is incredible on how that works.
Like the 3D printing as a cosplay tool.
Yeah.
I know some people think it's cheating, but fuck that. Honestly, sorry. Am I?
You can
No,
you can swear whatever
all
the
you
fuck you want.
Okay. Yeah. No, I like the 3D printing options, and I don't know how to 3D model, and I have zero interest of learning how to do that. But I like it when people have files available, and I gladly pay for all the good files. But yeah, so it's really nice just to have this is just a very simple, easy printer that you can use. It doesn't take up a lot of space, and it gives me so much more access to making some pretty cool props.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
You had talked about the night before the photography, you created a scepter. Do you want to walk us through? Was that 3D printing or did you do it a different manner?
No, that was a different manner. I had the costume and with the cape and everything, and then I thought in my head she always had this sort of scepter. And I figured I'm just gonna do this. So I have this curtain rod that I use for some fantasy cosplays for druid stuff. So you can just take the top off and switch it out for something else.
That's genius.
Yeah, it's really easy. So I also have some magnets that I use, and then I sometimes use leaves that hang from it or white flowers or anything. So I just took everything off that I had, and then I just made from the Red Rising board game, you have sort of this sovereign like piece.
Yep.
So I basically used that as a reference, and I made it out of foam and foam clay. And foam clay has to dry for several hours, and I didn't have the time for that. So I just, after like 1.5 hours, I figured I'm just gonna paint this shit and
fine. Yeah.
be fine. It just has to survive for basically 1 or maybe 2 photo shoots, and then I can redo it. So I painted it, and the next day sort of the paint was still a little bit sticky, but it worked.
Yep, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, you can't see sticky.
No.
Yeah.
So you had a photographer friend of yours take you out and shoot you. And I don't know where my words are. Walk us through, because you would explain that building, which sounds so cool.
I know from all the fantasy events, and he's a huge Star Wars fan as well, and a sci-fi nerd. So I just basically asked him, like it was super awkward because it's, well, I have this, could you maybe? And I was like, yeah, we're gonna make this work. So we looked for a location, and I was looking for something with stairs and pillars, and again, a bit of this neo-classical vibe. And for a long time I couldn't find anything, and then I asked my mom, because I know she likes art and architecture a lot. So I asked her, and she immediately said, "Oh, you have to look up the city hall in a town called Dordrecht." So I did, and I immediately realized that's exactly what I was looking for, because it had stairs, it had pillars, and it also had like these huge statues of lions, which fits with Virginia very well. You can't see the lions, I think, on the photos, but it was still nice to have them there.
Yeah.
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 Still informing your attitude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was really funny because we did it on a Sunday morning pretty early, but there were already quite a lot of people in the city. So you walk like in full cosplay just through the city center from the parking to like the location, and people just stare at you. And then you were doing your photo shoot, and just people are like sneaky trying to take a picture as well. But it was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So I'm really happy and really glad that he had the time and was willing to take the photos on such a short notice, and that he edited them. So I had some pretty cool photos for Reset Bedlam.
They look
and then
incredible.
actually, yeah, and actually on
out so good.
yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. And actually on the day that the submission closed for Hazard Bedlam, I also went to another photo shoot in Germany with like this huge group of photographers and models. And I also brought Virginia there because it was like this very cool old industrial environment, and it reminded me of the mines on Mars. So I just bring the costume, and so I have a couple of cool photos there as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we'll make sure that those are watching on YouTube. We'll put some pictures up of it so that they can see the full the full effect of it.
Yeah.
We'll put your socials links in the description too, so people can pop over there, follow you, and check your photos out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it'll be amazing. My brain just froze.
So I touched on it really quickly about the lions informing your attitude. We've talked with our other guests about how when they put on their costumes, you know, their personality changes to a certain degree. Do you find that same phenomenon?
Yes. I always feel more badass in most of my costumes. You feel sort of tough and very cool. And I've noticed that sort of the way I walk often changes. For a couple of years, I went to Legoland, Denmark for Star Wars weekends. We were invited with our costumes there. And then you walk there like the whole day in your costume. You're like high-fiving kids, and you're like doing all like to the kids, like sort of badass stuff. And then at the end of the day, you're out of costume and you walk to the park again, and you realize that you sort of are still in your badass kind of walk. But then you're in your normal clothes. And then after a few minutes, you realize, oh, I think I'm just creepy now, instead of badass. But yeah, I feel different when I wear a costume. I feel a little bit more confident. I feel a little bit more cool, more tough. And I try to sort of match my persona to the costume when I wear it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you try and embody the character a little bit.
Yeah. So if you wear like a cutesy costume, your behavior becomes a little bit more cutesy. But when you're wearing a tough costume or badass costume, you become more badass.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's really cool. So we talked a little bit about your Dune costume. I am sure there's a lot of our listeners have read or watched at least Dune. Where did the inspiration to do that, and where did you wear that one?
Well, the Dune costume, I saw that the movie was coming out in the cinema, and then I just sort of did a speed run for the book because I hadn't read it before. Didn't like the book that much. Sorry.
It's boring. I'm sorry.
Yes. Oh, so boring.
You can only talk about sand for so much.
We're about to get canceled.
I'm sorry.
I have said this before that there's a book. Every book is for a person, and every person, there's a book out there for you, but not all books are for all people, and vice versa. And I'm sorry, but Dune to me is boring. But anyway.
No, but I love the movie because the visuals are stunning, the music is amazing, and the costumes are amazing. So I remember so well that we were sitting in the cinema and Lady Jessica stepped out of that spaceship with their yellow gown, and that's the kind of yellow that is my favorite color. And then she had these like these chains on her face, and I just saw it and I realized that I have to make that. I just want to wear that, and I don't care where, I don't care how, I just want it. So I started making it. I did wear it to Dutch Comic Con once, but it had like this train of like 3 meters.
Oh my God.
So I just bunched up like all the fabric on my arms, and then you just walk around like this, like 6 meters of fabric, because it has 2 trains. It was, was that the smartest thing ever? No. But it was fun and it looks cool. And then again, Johan, the same photographer who did my Virginia photos, he also loved Dune and he loved the visuals. So he said, let's do a photo shoot. So we planned to go to this, 2 locations, one with sort of this concrete space kind of look and feel, and the other one was in, dunes with sand. And then also again, 3 weeks before the photo shoot, I had the genius idea that, since Lady Jessica is mostly finished, I could make a still suit in 3 weeks. And I did.
Nice.
What you're saying is you're a masochist.
Yes, the con crunch is real for me. It's I work best on the deadline. So I made the still suit as well, and then we ended up doing the photo shoot. It was like a full day in 2 locations, and again, Johan did this magic, because the guy he takes awesome photos, and then he has sort of this editing awesomeness that he puts over it. He really makes magic. So and that's one of the things I like cosplay, and I like making my costumes, but the end result, like working together with a talented photographer, that brings it to the next level. And that's the moment that I'm like most happy with what I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Do you have any other favorite cosplays that you've done? You clearly have done a lot in the Star Wars realm, but I know you can talk about those as well, but any other favorites?
God, favorites is very difficult to pick, because it also depends on my mood. I love Rey because I love her character, but the costume itself is not as spectacular as others that I made. One that was my favorite to make was Princess Leia Bespin outfit. She's in Cloud City, and then she has this embroidered cape that she wears. So that was my COVID project. I think for 2 years, around 550 hours, 600 hours of embroidery went into the cape. As I said, it was, So it's 5 panels, and the first panel took 120 hours. So I think the others went a little bit quicker, but so I really like the embroidery, but in the end, I don't like how it looks on the costume, how it looks on me. So I sort of have a hate-love relationship with that cosplay. But I think my Dune costume is one of my favorites as well. I love my Red Rising one, but I'm dying to upgrade it. And I like making these original characters, because I also visit a lot of fantasy events in the Netherlands. I think they're a little bit comparable to Ren fairs in the States. I've never been to a Ren fair, but I've seen the photos and the videos. So I think the vibes are a little bit the same. And I just like to go creative and create something like fully from scratch from my own imagination.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Maybe the next HowlerCon will give you your con crunch push to upgrade your Virginia.
If I can make it to HowlerCon, because I know it's in the States and it's expensive, so I'm not sure if it's possible, but if I'm going, I'm definitely bringing a cosplay. And please Piers, if you ever hear this, come to Europe and come do signing here, because I will definitely show up to all of them and bring a cosplay.
I know Morningstar, he did definitely the UK, and I think a couple random, and then Golden Sun, I think he was randomly in Europe. Him and Adam Silvera, who, if you know, is YA. He has nothing to do with sci-fi, but the two of them like toured Europe together doing but that was like Golden Sun Morningstar era. So we can get him back. He's sometimes just there. Like he goes on vacation. We'll just convince him to meet up with you and sign things. Yeah.
The true way to do it, just dress up in your Virginia cosplay 24/7, go everywhere, and eventually, like, you might just run into him and.
Just in case. You never know. That'd be so funny.
This American sort of acquaintance that I know from the Star Wars community, and at one point we were talking about Red Rising, and back in the day I didn't have a signed copy yet, and he said, "Oh, but I know the dude. I occasionally meet him. Let me try to get a."
People in LA, they just are all over each other when they're in LA.
Yeah, in the end it didn't work out because he doesn't see Pierce that often. It's not like they're
no, and you'd have to just at all times have a copy. It's not like Pierce is carrying a copy.
No.
At all times.
Yeah.
That's so funny. It'd be hilarious. So what upgrades would you make to the Virginia costume?
Yeah, I'm doubting if I want to upgrade this one or make like a full armored version. Yeah, to match Backstage with her Darrow cosplay. That would be so awesome because Backstage also made this very cool Virginia design, like full armored one. I would change a few things because I have slightly different version than Backstage. Don't get me wrong, I love what she did, but I'd like to give a little bit of my own twist as well.
Absolutely.
But I would like to just, if we could match the vibes a little bit, that would be so much fun. But if I were to upgrade this one, I would definitely go with more like the drapey fabrics. I don't think I really managed that the way I wanted to. So like the toga drapes. And I would like to, the pants, for example, I would like to make them from scratch, add some more details with some gold piping and some like panels, just to make them more interesting. Bigger shoulder pads. Like make the armor pieces like a little bit bigger, a little bit more imposing. Add bracers, arm bracers. I had wanted to do them originally, didn't get around to it. Make a more dramatic cape, and I already have like this gold foil that you can put on fabric with the pointy star that I want to put on it. Like, yeah.
That's incredible. I love that.
Yeah.
I hope we can see it one day.
I hope so too. Yeah. So basically, I want to take what I have and just make it bigger, make it better, more details, more tiny details, more big details.
Yeah.
Just elevate.
Yeah, just elevate. Yeah.
Very cool. I love that.
So, kind of in the same vein, you want to have your next Red Rising cosplay. Is there a cosplay that you've just like your holy grail of this is the thing that I want to make and haven't got to it yet?
Well, there is, as I said, my cosplay journey started with Star Wars, and I think a little over, I joined the 51st Legion in 2009, and back in the day I was down in two costumes. One was Boushh or Bush or however you want to pronounce it. It's like the Princess Leia disguised as Jabba the Hutt. And you can also the 51st Legion is for bad guys. So, but for some reason that cosplay is also allowed there, which was fine with me. But the other cosplay I was thinking about back then was Zam Wesell. She is like the purple bounty hunter in Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
So I actually made my first purchase for that like 11, 12 years ago, something like that. But I have never gotten around to making the costume, finishing it. Back in the day, it was expensive. There were some pieces that were very difficult to obtain. For example, the fabric for the undersuit, it's a neoprene. I'm not sure I think neoprene in English. And it's sort of this purple lilac color with a sheen on it. And there was this custom run that was done like years ago, and I missed out on it, or I didn't know it existed back then. And I think 2 years ago, I managed to buy like 6 yards of it.
Wow.
From someone who bought it back in the day and never got around to make the cosplay. So then I thought I'm gonna make the cosplay. So I have some pieces already, but I had a medical issue, so the cosplay things were a little bit on the back burner. But yeah, I think I will be very happy once that cosplay is done. I have to be honest, I'm a little less into Star Wars nowadays than I was back in the day, but I still want to make the costume just because I love the design. I love the little elements. There's leather work. There is you have armor pieces. You have a helmet. But you can still sit, which is nice. So it has a lot of cool elements that I really want to make. So I think if we talk about dream costumes, that's definitely on top of that. But then I also have to admit that when I think of dream costumes, I think more of fandoms that I love and want to represent, basically. And looking at that, once I move into my new house with my craft room, I'm definitely building a Mass Effect N7 armor. That is, that is very high up there. And the other one is Horizon Forbidden West cosplay.
Yes.
Not Aloy. Yeah, not Aloy. I want to do Alpha. Alpha, the Quen. She's so adorable.
Yeah. Well, then you can match Backstitch's Aloy, and the two of you again can continue to match. I love it.
Yes. Yeah, Backstitch and I have realized that we have a lot of fandoms that we both love and both cosplay from. She also has a Katniss cosplay, and I did a Lucy Greybeard cosplay. So we both are also in the Hunger Games. Yeah. And then we both have Rey costumes. So
incredible.
I think we match very well.
Yeah. And we talked to Backstitch a bit about the cosplay community and how supportive and everything. Do you find that as well? That just, that group that comes together?
Yeah, it depends on the circles you're in, because cosplay community can also be very cutthroat. But I don't like to be in that part. I like to just be in the part with the people who are nice and supportive. And so it's all with who you surround yourself with. And I think I found that like this really nice community. For example, when I look back at Operation Hazard Bedlam, that was actually the time that I really got to know Backstitch, and we were both basically competing for the same thing, both for Violets, both in cosplay. And there is a reason that I don't do cosplay competitions, because how do I say this? I don't get jealous if other people win, but I sort of feel insecure about what I make if I lose.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's the whole reason that I don't like cosplay competitions. And but what I now joined was a creativity contest, and I felt like I was sort of directly competing with Backstitch. But the fun thing was, it never felt like I was competing with her. When she was making something, and I was just cheering her on. I was like, "Go, girl! You're making such beautiful things." And she did the same thing for me. And so as I said, it never felt like a competition, and that was so important. And I like to think that we sort of became friends during that time, and that we connected, and that's what I like. So even though it was a competition, it was just lifting each other up and cheering each other on. And I think the whole street heard me cheering when she won. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so great. Yeah, we always talk about how incredible the Red Rising fandom is.
Yes, it is.
As us as podcasters of, I don't know how many podcasts we have now, including there's one, and I would love they're in a different language, including like whatever their script is not our alphabet, and I'm like, I always want to cheer you on, but I don't even understand what your Instagram is, but like, yeah,
I literally
right?
don't know
Because
how.
I don't know what to say to you. I don't know what language this is. But like, I feel like Red Rising is just an incredible group in any element of the content creators. We're just here to cheer each other on and like, lift each other up, which is
For
always
love
great.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Because looking back a few years ago, Red Rising was, I didn't know many people who knew Red Rising, and it was online. There was not much buzz around it, and suddenly it grew and expanded, and there's so many people who share the love for the Red Rising. So that's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. What would you say to someone who's trying to get into cosplay? What are kind of that basic first steps that advice you would give?
Well, for me, it's so many years ago that I started, but I like to don't be too hard on yourself. When I look back at my first cosplays and the things I made, and compare it to what I can do now, it's you learn by doing. And nowadays there's so many amazing tutorials and patterns, and so you can learn a lot online. Don't be afraid to ask, but at the same time also do your own research, because I know there are a lot of cosplayers who are always willing to answer your questions, but at the same time, if they already made a tutorial about it, it's so do your research, and be kind. Just be enthusiastic, and surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah, incredible. I love that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Um, do you have any upcoming ones that you're doing?
Well, sorry, Tickler, if you're watching. I was supposed to go to Facts in November, but the house renovations are really making it near impossible for me to come.
That's fair.
So, yeah, I still have to tell them that though. So,
That's fine.
We'll break the
Um,
news to them this way.
yeah.
yes. Ta-da, sorry. No, but con season in the Netherlands is almost over. So the next ones start, I think, April next year. So hopefully house renovations will be done by then, and then I come back to making things and
Nice.
join the cosplay scene again.
So you now have you're going to have a giant craft room, 20 meters squared, you said? Like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Fill all that space.
For our
We
American listeners, that's like
math.
13-ish by 13 by 15-ish.
Yeah.
That's big.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's huge, and we bought this like very old, like typical Dutch house. We call it a grachtenpand. It's like you see. I don't live in Amsterdam, but you see them in Amsterdam, like these high buildings, like next to the canals.
Yeah.
So we have a house that has parts that are, as I always like to say, older than America.
Yeah.
So true.
It's like my biggest flex in the den.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I think that's it. Did you have anything else you wanted to comment on, or Crescent, do you have any other questions?
Yeah. Is there any questions that you wish we would have asked?
Yes.
Not really, I think.
That's fine. That means we did our job and we covered everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. No, I was thinking, but no. Yeah, maybe the Red Rising community the Red Rising community in the Netherlands is still very, very tiny. That's basically me and my friends who I force reading Red Rising, suffer with me.
Out of curiosity, did you read Red Rising first in English or in Dutch or a different language? I know you guys are all like crazy multilingual.
No, I read everything in English. I haven't read a Dutch book since high school, I think.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, get the good translation, the original.
Yeah, most people in the Netherlands speak English very well.
Yes.
So I started reading English from the age of 16, I think. It started with Harry Potter, and then afterwards I realized I prefer to read in English. So I did a bachelor and master's in English as well. So yeah, so it's very easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I still want to buy just the Dutch copy just to have fun.
That's I have the French copies just because. Why?
Yeah.
I read the first one in French at some point, but it's like, no, I want them. Yeah.
Yeah, and the title in the Netherlands is just red, basically rood, red. So they just skip the whole rising part.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. My French copies didn't even bother. They're literally English Red Rising. Like they didn't even like try to go rouge or whatever. Like they just went, we're just calling it Red Rising. Why would we change this? It's like, okay. Dark Age.
This is a proper noun. We're not gonna change this.
It's fine. Yeah. Hilarious. I just wanted to highlight as we're talking books. We both, Crescent doesn't have his yet, which is a me problem. I will get Crescent his book. You have it behind you, the brand new deluxe edition. I kind of want to, I assume this is EO. And I was looking at it.
It has to be.
I want to cosplay that version of EO. But how many people would get that? That's the reference. I'd somehow have to get my hair to float the whole time.
I took a photo of myself as EO for Operation Hazard Bedlam as well last year. Because I also joined the Silvers, and it was more of an afterthought and not very serious. But the Silvers were, of course, it's all it's business. And I have this small business with bookish tea. So I basically wrote a pitch. Yeah, so I basically wrote a pitch for Lit Escalates and Pierce Brown to collaborate with me for a Red Rising tea.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah, it was the most bold thing I've ever done. I'm not that direct or forward usually, but I figured this is my chance.
That's the time. Hazard Bedlam is the time to do it.
For sure.
Yeah. So I basically wrote a pitch to do a Red Rising tea, and I pitched EO's Dream, and I had this like tea that if you make it, it's red. It's a red tea.
That's sick.
Cool. Yeah, it was really cool. And then I just made a label with EO, and she was holding like the Hymettus flower, so I just grabbed a red flower that I had, and with the rope from the gallows, and I made like the rope ring that she wears, the wedding ring.
Oh,
yeah.
And I just grabbed a red wig that I had, and I figured
that's all you need. I love it.
That's all you need.
I think Backstitch was drinking your tea during our episode with her. Yeah.
Really? Oh, yeah. I gifted her a box of tea.
Yeah. We'll make sure, can people still order it? Like, you still have your tea available for people to order? Because we can throw whatever links in.
We don't ship to Northern America. Oh. It's a hassle. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So I occasionally just make boxes for friends and send it that way. Like when I did for Backstage.
Well, any of our European listeners and followers, there's a couple of them. There's a few. Fox.
Yeah, there's a few.
Not to call out Fox, but Fox. Draken, Carbon.
Analog.
There's a few. Analog.
Analog.
Palette.
Yeah, we did.
Now we're just going to sit here and I'm going to miss somebody and I'm going to feel so bad. This is every time
Skipper
we
does
try to
this
name
every
people.
time. There's some sort of list.
Why am I naming people?
I recently forgot all the British howlers, so...
Yep. Analog, Palette. I know there's more, but I'm just going to call out
those two.
Yep. They can get in touch with you. They can order your amazing tea.
Oh, but they know.
Yeah. That's awesome. This is completely random, but I just remember you said with the tea turning red. No, this is great. The tea turning red. Way back, there was one of the book companies that, like, when book boxes were really popular, I think it's either my special edition Iron Gold or Dark Age, did a bath bomb and it turned the water red. So it looked like you were dying, but they turned the water red. I wonder if I still have it somewhere. Probably not.
That reminds me of when I explained that I did like 4 hours of body paint for cosplay. That was red body paint. So afterwards, when I took a shower at the hotel, basically the whole bathroom was like red, and it looked like a crime scene. And me and my friend, we left the next day. We were looking at like, oh my god, I'm so sorry people work at this hotel.
I know.
Yeah.
It's fine. Well,
it was awful.
Well, this has been incredible. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you especially for working through our technical difficulties. I'm glad I caught it before I was editing. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, this is great. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Check out our Patreon. Check out, in the comment section below. Description. My words are gone. I need another coffee. In the description, we'll have all of Vale's social media and everything else on where to find her, so you can check out all her gorgeous pictures, which are incredible. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much for coming on. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Of course. Anytime.
Night. Normally we say have a good night, but it's the middle of the afternoon. I don't know when.
Yeah, have a good day, everybody.
Have a good day.
Lo, howlers. Red Rising isn't ending with Red God. Wipe away your tears, and welcome to the Book of Lorne. Episode 1. Honor in the First. The statue of the Gold Woman is thick and uncharacteristically short for her color. Her armor is utilitarian, unadorned except for the image of a griffin depicted head-on. Below her, a metal plaque has been affixed. It reads, Honor in the First. Am I really so naive that I thought I could just knock on this door and ask him to instruct me? And here I thought the morning to be free of storms. The voice rumbles from behind me. I go still. I turn to see the most famous warrior alive. Years and war have left this man like a spit of land pummeled by the waves of the sea, until all that remains is proud cliffs, violent scarps, and impish breaker sprays of mischief and danger in his eyes. He nods to the plaque. These words first belonged to my mother, Nepheli au Arcus, who lived every single day of her life governed by a code of honor, except for the day that she died. My dearest Lorne, this is the last you will hear from your father and I for some time. If the night goes well, we will come for you when it is safe. If not, then I am sorry, for the future of House Arcos will fall to you. I regret that it has come to this, that we must place ourselves in the service of a criminal, but our house cannot survive under your father's debts. We have no choices left. Son, what we do tonight, we do for you, to give you a chance at a life of honor, purpose, duty. I love you, my son, and if this is indeed our last goodbye, then I would bid thee to memorize the lesson I so badly forgot today. Under pain of consequence, honor in the first, honor in the last. The Book of Lorne, available now on shitescalates.com.